Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome in. Thank you for joining in. Got lots to talk about for about an hour or so. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. We'll see how long it lasts. Usually they go for about an hour, but welcome in. So I'm going to be talking about my thoughts on the upcoming Google event a week from today and my excitement for it, because I'm super excited to see how all this is coming together. That is a key thing for the October 6th, is how it's all coming together. Also, Stadia shut down. The half the people are like, who cares? The other half of people are like, holy. So we'll talk about that and the reasons why that happened, and my suggestion to Google regarding that. We're also going to talk about the Pixel 7 Pro unboxing. Is it real or is it fake? We'll get all into that in this episode. So again, welcome in. Appreciate you guys for being here. And as we're going through each one of the subjects, I'll have a little tag there so you guys will know exactly what I'm talking about in that segment. Audio will be uploaded to the Anchor podcast for those who listen to the audio side of this. So, maybe I'll cut this up into small segments and pop it up on TikTok and whatnot. So also, speaking of TikTok, I did revive We Are Techies. It is an actual separate account on TikTok, and what I plan to do with it is several other people will be joining me in uploading content to that TikTok channel. So that's going to be pretty exciting. I haven't selected those that are going to be a part of it yet. I'm still kind of scouring around looking for the ones that I feel like have the same drive and passion, and so we'll see. As you're coming in, feel free to say hi, hello, and how you're doing. Tell me where you're from if you're your first time here. And I'm just giving it a little bit of time for more people to kind of jump in. Michael, what's up? Welcome. Glad to have you here, buddy. There's a lot more people to come in so they can they don't miss any of the subjects here. So probably about like another minute before I actually kind of like dive into what I want to talk about. And that first subject is actually going to be the Stadia shutdown. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that and just kind of my perspectives on what Google was doing with that and the reasons why it failed. So we got like another 30 seconds more to go. And I'll kind of just like pop that in. So let's bring up the little moniker here. It's the only thing I don't like about being outside life, and it's not even like wild animals. I'd be okay if if a bird flew by or something like that. I hate when flies come by. It's just so annoying. And that's just because like the heat is really kind of cooled down in my city. So it's kind of crappy. But anyways, Jeremy, what's up? What's going on? Hello, welcome. All right. So it's been about a minute since I last said that we were going to get things started. So we're going to talk about Stadia and its shutdown. Now, half the people that I see on Twitter absolutely don't care. Like, they don't care at all whatsoever. They're like, oh, wow, people are complaining that Stadia is shutting down. Boo-hoo, like we don't have time to game. You know what? And then you get the other half that are gamers that are like, what the frick, Google? And you know what? I admit I'm a big backer of Google Stadia, but at the same time too, I already seen the writing on the wall a year ago, and I was just waiting for them to announce it, that they were actually going to shut it down. And in fact, they did. They did shut it down. It's not shut down just yet, but they did announce they're going to shut it down. And January 18th, 2023 is when it will go offline. Now, I made a statement in a shorts that I uploaded on the channel and got some feedback from Latrell himself. And I don't know exactly how he meant his comments. So if he takes mine as, being rude or whatever, I hope he doesn't. But I'm just going to get straight to the point. Like, the things that he said in there, I'm not oblivious to. I'm not a total idiot. I know it costs money for them to run cloud servers, to be able to hold all these accounts on Stadia and to hold all these games and game progresses and everything like that. Of course they're going to shut it down. There were people who were just like very negative towards Stadia. I really don't care. It's not for everybody. I don't expect everybody to like the same things. I was a big backer of it because I saw the vision that Google wanted to do with it. The idea of being able to glame. Wow, that's a new word. Hashtag glame if you made it this far. Those that wanted to game online cloud gaming, right? So you don't have a physical disc or cartridge or anything like that you have to worry about. There's no physical console that you have to, like actually buy in order to use Stadia. What else need? None of that stuff. All it was really was just an online cloud gaming service. And when they first showcased Stadia right before its release in 2019, well, November of 2019, the idea to be able to like game on your Chromebook or laptop, and then like say like you wanted to switch it up to a tablet, you can just pause your game from your laptop, log into Stadia on your tablet, and then just hit the pause button to unpause the game and continue from where you left off, right? No loading time, no loading bar, none of that stuff. It was a seamless transfer from one end to another. And you could have done that from your Chromebook to your mobile phone to your tablet, even to your Google TV. If you got the Chromecast with Google TV, you can just pick up from where you left off there. It was awesome. It didn't work in the early stages. Like, it was kind of buggy in the early stages of it, but then afterwards it like got really good. Like, it was to the point literally where like if I was playing like Immortals Phoenix Rising and I paused my game on my TV in my room and grabbed my Pixel 6 and went outside and left with the missus to go like run and pay a bill or something like that, I could continue my gaming as she drove, and I sat shotgun and just continue my gaming. And hashtag glame. Yeah. Stadia is now completely glame. It's I don't know. It was good. I don't know. I guess I'm one of those weird ass people that just sees the glass as half full rather than half empty when it comes to things. Like, people can look at things and like totally point out all the negative things about it, but I can see all the positive things that would have been. Even though, a company such as Google tends to do this. And I will tell Google right now, because Google's shutting it down because it didn't gain the traction that they expected it to. I don't know what Google was expecting for this, but they pretty much like had like high hopes for this. But there was one quintessential thing that Google failed to realize, and it was their own mistake for this and why it happened. Now, in order to understand what happened to Killer, you have to understand who Killer the dog was. Shameless joke there. But no, seriously, to understand why Stadia is being killed off, why it's the next, its grave is being dug up and its headstone is being placed in the Google graveyard, and it'll eventually be buried on January 18th. So I'm going to have a eulogy for Google Stadia on that day. The reason that it didn't pick up traction is not because it sucked. It's not because the lack of games that they had in the library. It's not any of that stuff. The reason why it failed was because a lot of people who saw Google Stadia saw it for what was going to happen to it. They already knew it was going to be a service that was going to get shut down, because Google has a bad rep for shutting down services, right? There are so many things you can name in the Google graveyard, and it was there by reasons that we're just like, why? I'm not sure how much of a market exists for cloud gaming today. The networks aren't really good enough yet on mobile. Mobile networks don't have a dense enough cell site grid, right? Latency is too high and throughput not good enough on uplink and downlink. Yeah, I can kind of see that. I mean, they're not the best, especially if you're going to be gaming with high graphics. One thing I'll say about Stadia and like the system that I was using, and it was so weird because it was like they wanted like high graphic gaming, yet they were using their system to pretty much like compress it, so like that way with high latency it wouldn't get superly distorted, or you wouldn't get like a lot of buffering or anything like that. They had this system. The system is still in place, and as a matter of fact, the system is being allocated to be used on YouTube, Google Play, and their augmented reality. So they're shifting a lot of Stadia's system over to basically handle those things. But yeah, the overall reason why Stadia didn't pick off the way that it was supposed to was because of the fact that people see through Google and all this stuff. Like every time Google announces something new, not nobody, let me take that back. Most of the people out there don't dive right in feet first. They stay on the shoreline and they're like, okay, let me watch this thing and see how long it takes for it to die. Because that's what Google does, is they make something and then they kill it. Like, oh, we got this new shiny toy. It's really nice. We want you guys to check it out. And then they're wondering why nobody's lining up in line to buy their new toy. And it's like, why? Because they're going to do a recall on it. You know how irking that's going to be to like buy a product and then all of a sudden like a recall's done? Like, give it back. We'll give you a refund if you have your receipt, but give it back because we don't want to support it no more. It was going to take years for people to actually get on board with Stadia. Even with the way things are, like Sneed pointed out with the network and how the network is not really geared up to handle that type of gaming yet, especially when you're doing gaming like Destiny 2 or, Call of Duty or even, PUBG and all that. It would take some time for the network to catch up to be able to handle that type of load. But at the same time, too, Google had to prove itself to a lot of people that it wasn't going to kill this service off. And yet again, it failed. It got a huge F, right? So, my kids had parent-teacher conference yesterday. So now it's parent-teacher conference for Google. Google with Stadia, you failed. You got an F, okay? You weren't going to get people backing it. And I don't understand where Google's mindset is, where they think like just because they're Google and they put something out, like everyone's just going to automatically love it. That's not the case. It would have been the case if Google had stuck by. Like, here are my picks. Okay, so I'm going to reiterate this. My picks for the things that Google has taken away that I thought was very disappointing and that I actually enjoyed using. Inbox by Gmail. I actually enjoyed using Inbox by Gmail and preferred it over the regular Gmail app, only because it really did organize my emails so easily that like all my financial emails were in one section, all my social medias were in one section, all my miscellaneous ones were in one section, all my ones, like literally I opened up Inbox and I was just like, I was blown away by how well they organized it. And I wasn't so upset about it when they killed off Inbox by Gmail, when they were like, yeah, all the good stuff from Inbox is being moved and integrated into Gmail. And I was like, cool. So we're going to have Gmail pretty much like Inbox. I honestly started to think when they said that Inbox by Gmail was like some sort of beta testing for it. And it turned out not to be. The wind's kind of kicking up. So if you guys hear the wind, my apologies. But it turned out not to be. Like, there were some things from Inbox that was moved into Gmail, but not everything from it, and they killed it off. Google Plus, I really enjoyed Google Plus. I know some people didn't, and you know what? To each his own. Everyone has like their own preference of social media they want to do. To me, Google Plus was a safe haven. There wasn't a lot of crap, and just like all that stuff that you would find on Facebook and such, right? We didn't have a lot of that on Google Plus. Google Plus really was like, I guess you can say it was for the nerds more than anything, because it was for the nerds and for the photographers. A lot of people posting their photography there, a lot of nerds on there talking about tech. And, just not even just tech, but there were like the comic nerds. Like, I remember there were communities on Google Plus, and it was so much fun for me to be on social media because there were a lot of people out there, like comic books, trading cards. They had communities for Yu-Gi-Oh! They had communities for Magic the Gathering. They had communities based off like movies and stuff like that. It was really good, and there wasn't a lot of like fighting like like on Facebook there's like drama and stuff like that or whatever, and like Google Plus really wasn't about that, but because the people at Google Plus failed to maintain the platform itself, and they were too lazy to scrub fake accounts and dead accounts, they just let it run rampant, that they totally just gave up on it, and we ended up losing Google Plus. When Google announced Allo and Duo, they were like, yes, this was gonna be great. I really backed Allo. They got rid of it. I don't know why. I was annoyed because I liked using it. And like the only thing that Allo was missing was a better name for it and carrier SMS support. If they had brought in carrier SMS support, that would have been great. But they were too chicken shit to do it because of another service that, I really backed, that I didn't understand why they just gave up on it, which was Hangouts. Hangouts, the all-in-one messaging app that I saw great potential for that thing. And I don't know, maybe I wish I had like godlike powers to just snap myself into a role of somebody who could work at Google and just take over these projects and show them how to do it. Because people were complaining about Hangouts, but they were complaining about, like, one, it being confusing, right? When you have different threads and you don't know if it's a text message or a Google chat thread, they didn't get the idea of like when you saw like the person's what do you call it? Their avatar, and underneath their avatar bubble, if it had a gray box and said SMS, that meant carrier. And if it was a blue box that said SMS, it was Google Voice. And if it was nothing under there but just the avatar, then it was Google Chat. Okay, so I get how that could be slightly, confusing, because some people are just like, why do I have to look for a blue, bubble or gray bubble on an avatar to know what I'm doing? So maybe they could have created tabs specifically for texting, tabs specifically for Google voicing, tabs for specifically Google chatting. They could have done that. They could have done something to help get rid of the confusion. They could have spiced up Hangouts instead of having it the green color that people had gave feedback that they hated. They could have, definitely had given something different on Hangouts, but they chose to give up on it. And even though it's held on for the longest time, like Hangouts was probably the longest death. It was a slow death for Hangouts. It was literally on life support for a while before Google finally had the decency to pull the plug recently and just force everything to Google Chat, Meets, and that. So anyhow, so with that being said, you have those services that were killed off. So why would anybody even think that Stadia was going to last, especially a service that was going to require some money to actually thoroughly enjoy, right? So like Stadia did one good thing that I thought was pretty awesome, and that was every month for those people who subscribed to Stadia Pro, which was like $9.99 a month for the service. Every month, Stadia would pick specific games and make them free for Stadia Pro members to grab. So one, like for instance, the game Guilt. That's one of my favorite kind of cartoonish yet like jump scare horror games. And it went for $19.99. You bought it for $20 if you wanted to own the game, but there was a month where they gave it for free. And so I would go in there and see the free to Stadia Pro members, and I would claim the game. Once you claim it, even if the following month it's taken off the free list and it goes back to being $20, you got it in the month that you were a Stadia Pro member. It was still in your library. You can play it whenever you want. The only thing that you had to do was make sure you maintained your monthly subscription, and you were able to access the game and play it. You didn't have to buy it. But you could buy games on Stadia and own them on Stadia. Like the two games that I've bought in the entire time that I've been playing on Stadia, I've only bought two games: Streets of Rage 4, Immortals Phoenix Rising, which I'm like now trying to figure out like what they're gonna do with those. Streets of Rage 4, I think if you own that game, they should make it available for you to download on the Google Play Store, because it is in the Play Store as an Android game to play. So since we're not going to get access to it after January 18th, let us move our save, our progress, our game progress over to that, and just give us the game for free. But yes, Google Stadia will refund people money. They will give you your money back for the hardware you purchased and for the games that you purchased on Stadia. I don't know if they're going to refund every game or if it's the most recent ones. I'm not sure. They just said that they're going to refund it back. It was a plain Jane statement. So to me, I'm figuring as long as you have like some sort of proof that you bought the Stadia controller, and that you bought, obviously you should have proof that you bought these games. You get emails that tell you that you purchased a game on Stadia. As long as you have those, then you should be refunded your money back. So yeah, the death of Stadia. Google, I'll tell you again, don't create a service that you have no intention of supporting for at least 10 years. I'm going to tell Google that right now. If you're going to create some sort of new service and you want people to flock to it, you better be prepared to like have it be drugged through the mud for the first 3 or 4 years, but you got to support it for 10 years. Because if you're not going to support it very long, if you have to have something really kick up within the earlier 4 years, that's going to be very hard to do when your reputation with like the entire geek and nerd community, and then outside of that community with everybody that's, you know, just an average person, you're not going to gain them, especially in the gaming world. You're not going to get them at all, because they're looking at you like, we've Googled searched yourself and you guys have a bad track record of keeping services up and running. So I'm not going to invest my money, because that's what gaming is. When people like me personally, I'm not that hardcore into video games where, like, you know, if like I was playing a game and someone turned off the game in the middle of my progress, I'm not going to cry and throw a controller and break, you know, $1,000 TV and curl up in a fetal position and just like be stubborn all day. I'm not that type of gamer. But I do understand the gaming community, and I do understand they're not gonna invest their money into something that is not a for sure thing to keep, right? Like right now, they're like offering people to go to like, was it Amazon Luna or, you know, Nvidia, PlayStation, Xbox game, you know, cloud gaming. Like they're giving all these different alternatives to cloud gaming. Including Steam. Steam is a really good one too. So if you're on Stadia and you don't have any other service and you're like wondering, where do I go after January? Check out Steam. Steam is very good. It's a very good platform. I have it and I definitely recommend it. But you know, I will definitely say, yeah. Repeatedly nuking their services will prove Google untrustworthy. Exactly. And as a matter of fact, you know what? It's not really proving them untrustworthy. They're already untrustworthy. Like, I'm a big Google backer. I like Google services, and I don't trust them with things anymore. And I haven't for a while. When they killed off Google Plus is where I really started to not like trust them on things. And then when they killed off Allo, that was it. That was just like, yeah, anything that you put out, I'm very weary of. You know, if I fully backed, like, I mean, I backed Stadia, but if I fully backed it like a super nerd, I would have had a ton of games on there that I would have purchased. You know what I mean? I only bought 2 games because I really wanted to have them. But other than that, 2 games out of the time that I've had Stadia, only 2 video games I've purchased. That'll tell you like how much I was even believing in Stadia to stay around. Like, I really wanted them to. Like, I was like, when people were like, "Oh, it's a service that's gonna die," I would be like, "No, it's not gonna die." I'd be like, "No, it's not gonna die. It'll be fine." You know, but deep down inside, it was like, you know, like, there's a possibility that can die. Like, there's a possibility they'll kill it, and that sucks. The problem with Google is their patience. Oh, YouTube makes too much money for them. YouTube is not dragging as Stadia is, so YouTube wouldn't go down. Yeah, I mean, well, see, here's the thing. Like, of course, you know, they're a company to make money, and making money's got to make sense to them. So they have to literally, how do you put it? They got to see some residuals back. You know what I mean? In order for them to keep investing in like maintaining servers for the, you know, to host, you know, the cloud services, right? They got to maintain servers. And I know that Google is a $1 billion company and whatnot, but you know what? Like, again, we can't look at a company and expect them to take a loss. You know what I mean? Even though it makes sense to us to say like, hey, you guys got billions of dollars, you guys can take a loss for the first 4 years of it. Really, realistically, no. Even though they could have, but no. So I know that they needed to make some sort of like, they needed to see some sort of progress with Stadia in order to keep it alive. But like, you know, like I said, they can't put a goal at like 4 years and expect anything out of that. They're gonna have to put it for like 10 years because they totally ruined their reputation. You know, here's one of my biggest fears. One of my biggest fears, and it's not a Google service that I'm worried about. What I'm worried about is Google throwing in the towel on their hardware department. Google saying one day, like, okay, you know, we've tried for 8 generations of Google Pixel phones, and we're only selling to the geeks and nerds. that let's just stop. Let's just go back to the days of Nexus, and we'll hire Samsung or LG to build hardware for us, and we'll just give them the latest version of Android. And I know some people will probably be like, yeah, that was the best way to go. But that wasn't what, it's not comparable to say like we wanted Google to make their own hardware, because we did. Going back to the days of Nexus, we were actually championing for Google to just start building their own phones. When they got Motorola Mobility, we were thinking like, oh my God, they're finally going to make their own Google phone, because now they got Motorola. Now they got a company that builds hardware and installs the software. So just put them together, We wanted them to contend against Apple. And that didn't happen. We were frowny faces for a little bit until the Google Pixel came. When Google hired, I think it was like half of HTC's hardware design development team, that's when we got the Google Pixel. And that's where we were like jumping up and down like, yay, but then we were also like, nitpicking at it, which happens today with Google Pixels. Google Pixels never get a pass. They will always get crapped on. They will always, like, when Google puts out the Pixel, everyone expects it to be perfect. Like, oh my God, you just make one little misstep and it's like, oh, you're condemned for life. But other companies make huge missteps and it's like, oh, but they were doing it for years. It's okay. It's Apple. Apple, take my money. Take $800 for just your sticker and another $200 for your phone. That's why I'm giving you $1,000. It's okay. You screwed up here, and it's okay. Because you're Apple. You make me look good when I walk around and I have an Apple phone. People think I'm dope. That's like how the scenario is. In a nutshell, being blunt, and I don't care if I piss people off. Internet infrastructure is partly to blame. The Stadia. I mean, yeah, so there's a lot of things that we can really point at, that makes sense wise, that they can just spill out there for the entire world to know, be like, this is the reason why. But the real core problem, the Stadia, it didn't have backing from people because nobody trusts Google on keeping services alive. That is the main thing. There are people who would have been like, okay, you know what? Like, there is still some instability within Stadia, but you know what? I know Google's going to make it better because they're in it for the long haul. So I'll ride with them and keep gaming on Stadia and just putting up with a little bit of the shit before it gets better. There are people that are like that, but actually nobody was like that because the main thing was when are you pulling the plug? That's what a lot of people, suspected. And it's announced is now coming. So I have literally until January 18th to beat Immortal Phoenix Rising. I know I'm late to the game. Lots of people have beaten the game already. I don't care. I haven't beaten it. I like the game. I like playing it. So I got to do that. At the same time, too, continue to rack up as many points as I can on Streets of Rage 4 and also playing Dead by Daylight because I love playing that game as much as I can until January 18th. I made a shorts talking about, like, why can't they just leave it active? They don't have to put any new games on there. They completely say, like the service is dead, but the games that you have are still accessible for you. And yeah, of course, they're not going to do it because they're not going to want to maintain the servers to host this anymore. I get it, but that's just me wishful thinking. I know I'm going to lose access to those. I'm going to have to rebuy some of these games, and I'm going to have to, go through levels again, which, I mean, technically I don't mind because it's like I get to play it again, but then again, it's not going to be that fun because I've beaten it once. So I pretty much know how to beat it again. And I'm the type of person when I play a game, you have to 100% it. Like, if you get from the beginning to the end and you get the ending and you're like, oh, I know the ending to that game, doesn't mean you actually beat the game in my book. I'll say you've beaten a video game when you have 100% completed it. That is, if it has side missions, if it has secret missions that weren't real missions, you still have to do that. You still have to do that and know how to do it and play the entire game and beat the final level, the final boss, in order for me to give you you've defeated the game. Otherwise, I don't care how many times you argue with me. If you didn't 100% it, you didn't beat it. So that's like, I know I pissed off a lot of people in the Legend of Zelda community on Reddit because they would be like, yeah, I've beaten, what was it, Breath of the Wild. And I'm like, well, how many side missions have you done? They haven't done any. Well, then you didn't beat the game. You probably 58% completed the game and you still got all the side missions and the other stuff you got to do. So get back to it and then come back and fuck with me when you actually 100% beat the game. That's how I am. I'm an asshole like that. I'm sorry, but that's just the way I am. Google cannot give up their hardware. You need hardware to build devices like phones and Chromebooks. Yeah, but they can actually, and to be honest with everybody, and I know this sounds weird coming from me because I'm a big Pixel fanboy. They could just stop building Pixels. Because, I mean, you mentioned they got Chromebooks, they got Nest, They got other hardware devices that they've been doing. They can so totally just give up on Pixel phones, and that's what I'm afraid of. I'm glad you said that, because it gives a little hope in me. Like, yeah, they're not going anywhere for the long run, but at the same time too, I'm just like, like, it's a possibility because it's Google. Yeah, so I say to Google Stadia, salute to you. Thank you so much for your time. Let me play a little bit more, and then voila. For those people who are like, hey, let's get a petition started so we can go ahead and petition them to keep it on. You're wasting your time. I'm not signing no petitions because they're made up their mind they're going to do that. And they made up their mind they're going to do it. A petition is not going to stop them from moving on from Stadia, okay? It's just not. Sorry, but not sorry. Okie dokie, let's go to this. The Pixel 7 Pro leaked unboxing. I posted mine up. I was able to snag the video. I posted it up. Some people were like, is that real? Like, how do we know it's real? How do we know that they didn't go and create like 3D print some type of, casing to go over the back of a Pixel 6 to make it look like a Pixel 7 Pro? Very good point, people. Very good point. Because you could, if you wanted to. I mean, I don't think it is. I do honestly feel like that the Pixel 7 Pro and that unboxing is absolutely real. We know what the Pixel 7 looks like, so it's not a huge problem that, a leaked unboxing. Boost Mobile, there are cards. There are cards you can buy at Best Buy. You can buy them at Walmart, and they're refill cards for Boost Mobile. And there's also, if it's a AT&T prepaid, there's AT&T prepaid refill cards you can buy at Walmart and at Best Buy and Target. But yeah, you just gotta look. They have them. I think one of my favorite ones from Boost Mobile is actually so they have Boost Mobile refill cards, and they have like a specific amount when you get them. And then there's one that's like, it could be from, and it's funny because it says from $0 to $100. But you can put in the amount you want to put in that card, and it's still a refill card from Boost Mobile. It's just, there's not a specific amount. It's reloadable, and those are pretty cool. Yeah, I'm excited for the phones, but much more excited for the watch. I know it's neat. And you know what? On a side note, and I don't know why, I feel like I let people down again. And it's just me, you know what I mean? Like I posted on Twitter, congratulations to the new people selected into Team Pixel. I don't know her personally, but I've interacted with her, and first interacted with her on Instagram, actually, Jojo the Techie. And when she tweeted that she got her invite to Team Pixel, and that she was now going to get whatever Team Pixel is sending out to the Team Pixel members to review and unbox, she was really excited for it. So I tweeted, congratulations to the new Team Pixel members. And, shout out to Siova for, showing support and everything like that. I really appreciate them. Technoid as well. Technoid's been very vocal about it. It's neat as well. Siova thought that I got into Team Pixel, so he started, he responded to my tweet with a GIF that was animated for celebrations, and I felt so bad because I was like, I had to break it to him. Jojo's a girl. She's a girl. I think I retweeted one of her tweets. She's pretty cool. She does she does tech unboxings and reviews and stuff like that too. But yeah, when Siova congratulated me, I just felt like I let him down. No, I didn't get invited this year. I got no email saying, hey, we want to bring you on board, or I don't know exactly what the email would say. My envisionment of the email would be hey, congratulations. I don't know, congratulations for joining Team Pixel, and giving you some sort of attachment where you had to verify your address, and that way they can send the package to the correct address. Yeah, I didn't get nothing like that. I checked my emails around this time of the year, when the Pixel 6a was dropping. I check my emails every day just to see if that one email from them comes through that says, hey, your ticket's been punched, you've been called up. And I know that there's people who back me on it, and I'm always going to be grateful and humbled by that. Really, I am. I'm always humbled by it. I just don't think that I'm the person that they're looking for to be a part of it. I don't think I'm the fit. You know what I mean? And secondly, maybe 5 years from now I'll get pulled in, when the Pixel 12 is dropping or something. I don't know if I'm going to be doing this forever. But I'll do this until the wheels fall off. But you know, it sucks because I see people backing me into it, and then even some being vocal as to going out saying that there are Team Pixel members that don't deserve to be a part of it, and that also makes me feel bad too because it's like I don't want them to feel like they're getting crapped on. I do understand what people are saying when they make mention of that. Like if it's like somebody that's reviewing audio headgear and stuff like that, not meaning it particularly to one person, so don't start going out there saying, hey, Tito's talking shit about somebody. Like no. But I do understand what some are saying. It's just not my time. It's lucky number 7 is not so lucky for me, so my ticket didn't get punched. And staying around and it's just it's not me to have to belong to something. You know what I mean? I can stand my ground on my own. I am going to buy the Pixel 7. It's not right away. Because I'm more focused on the Pixel Watch, which Sneed mentioned too. He's excited for the watch. I'm excited for the watch. I see a lot of people talking crap about the watch, and it's like you guys haven't even freaking had it on your wrist yet, and you guys are already coming to assumptions of what it's going to be like. Like let's get the damn thing in hand before we pass judgment whether it's good or bad. You have to use a freaking thing in order to really know. You can't look at specs and say, it's got that battery, it's gonna die quickly. You don't freaking know. Because you don't know what the chip's been optimized to do. You don't know how it's going to react to certain things. So let's just get the damn thing in hand. Let's get some real world testing done before we pass judgment. Can we do that? Can we do that, my fellow techies? For those who are passing judgment on this thing, I am excited. I could care less about the bezels on it, okay? As a matter of fact, if the rounded edges of the bezels are not screen real estate, but bezels itself, to me, my opinion, and again, this is my opinion, so you don't have to agree with me, but I ain't gonna be forced to your opinion. But my opinion is, makes more sense if you accidentally bang the side of it. I would rather have the bezel have a scratch on it than the actual display that you're going to be viewing things on the watch for. And it's a satellite object to your smartphone. So it's not to take over it, even though there is a cellular version that you can use, which would come in handy, especially if you go hiking and you're like, I'm going to leave my phone in the car because I don't want to carry my phone. I'll carry my watch that has connection for phone calls. By all means, do it. But yeah, let's use this thing. I'll rock it in the all black Eldorado. Yeah. I'm gunning to get the Pixel Watch first, to be honest with everybody. I'm gunning to get the Pixel Watch first. I love my Pixel 6, and it will pair just fine with my Pixel 6 like it will with the Pixel 7. Now, if they make some sort of announcement a week from today and they're like, the Pixel Watch is here, but it can only bond with Pixel 7s and newer, well, then Google's going to get the big... Because, yeah, I feel like it should be able to pair with my Pixel 6, which it will, realistically. Come on now. There are going to be a lot of people that's more geared towards the Pixel Watch first and getting the Pixel 7. It's Google's first smartwatch. And it's, you got the Fitbit logo on the box. Thanks to that guy at Target who decided to say, hey, I'm back here working at Target. I just opened this box. Oh, my lucky stars. There's Pixel Watches in here. I heard this thing is coming out in a few weeks. Let me take a picture of it and post it on social media. And I was like, wow. Of course, we could already guesstimate what the box looks like, but I mean, still, yeah, it has the freaking, it has a Fitbit logo on it. So everyone's wondering, like, hey, what's Google doing with Fitbit? They're calling the Fitbit technology in the Pixel Watch. So they're basically giving reference to everything that Fitbit has done, and put it in, into the watch, right, as a fitness tracker side of things. So I mean, that's just that's what it is. That would be cold-blooded if the watch only works with the 7th gen. Yeah, it would be. It would be. I don't think Google would do that because there are people who just don't upgrade, right? There are people who I know who still validate and rock for the Pixel 5. I'm one of them. That's the dilemma in my life, and probably the worst mistakes ever for me was that I don't sell out my phones to get new ones. I use my phones continuously and keep them, and because I don't sell any of them, I get teased. Like I'll look at a phone and be like, "Damn, I want to use the Pixel 5a today." Like I remember how it feels like to just use the Pixel 5a. I know that kind of sounds stupid, but I'm weird like that, and I'll be like, the experience of a month ago was really good on the Pixel 5a. So let me go put my SIM card in it. That's me. That's what I do. and then I take a picture of it on social media. Hey guys, I'm rocking the Pixel 5a again. It's like, and then you guys will be like, yeah, okay, Tito's rocking the Pixel 5a. And then like 6 hours later, it's like, what the fuck, Tito? He's like, do you see my tweet? And it was like, I'm rocking the Pixel 5. I'm just weird like that when it comes to my Google Pixels, because the experience is good on them. I mean, yes, they're all relatively, near similar experience with all of them, because the Pixel experience is on all of them. I know that sounds pretty stupid right there, but they each have like their small little things that identify to be different. So I mean, yeah, I have very little hope for the success of satellite to cellular phones. Elon Musk does not think things all the way through, but Elon's not the only one that's trying to do it. You know what I mean? I mean, Apple is already in cahoots. Apple's been in cahoots to doing it. Like, so when T-Mobile announced that they were partnering with Starlink and they were going to do this thing with satellite, if you guys don't believe me, search it through my playlist of videos. I have a video where I talked about it. It was like a year or two ago. I talked about Apple wanting to get into the mobile, like the telecom industry, and that they were thinking of doing satellite. Of course, my video was slightly off because they weren't going to depend completely on satellite for telecommunications, but they were going to make their iPhones be able to still hold some sort of connection in rural America out in the middle of nowhere, where you use a satellite to get, an emergency alert out, which could very well in the next 10 years transform into a connection that, can be used for phone calls, text messaging, and browsing the internet. Of course, that will require a phone to have a very, very powerful antenna that's not going to burn your hand or make your phone explode with heavy usage. Because we need to get to that point of the technology where they can take a giant antenna and shrink it to a very micro size to fit in the phone. As far as T-Mobile and them doing satellite and whatnot for connections, I mean, I don't have much of a thing against Elon. And when it comes to people who try to innovate things, I don't look at personal opinions of theirs to judge them as what they're doing business-wise, right? So, like, the idea that Elon has and what he intends to do, and what he intends it to be is, to me, I'm like, yeah, that's a good thing. How they execute it will determine whether they, succeeded or failed. And I know it's getting dark out here because the sun is going down. So in a minute here, I'm about to get up to go turn on some lighting so that way we can continue the conversation. But, to be like all seriousness, the idea is good. Let's just see how they execute it. But they are not the only one that's doing it. AT&T is in the race of doing it. I guess Verizon's in the race of doing it. Like, when you see a company like T-Mobile say, hey, we're going to do something revolutionary and groundbreaking, and they go and they say they're going to do it, trust assured, it wasn't just their idea only. The other companies are already on the ball of doing theirs. They may not have mentioned it. They may not have put it out there for people to know, but they are, in fact. Give me 1 second. Let me get some lighting on because it's getting dark. And the darker it gets, we will not see anything. Alrighty. We got some light back. This is a little bit better because I know the sun was going down. Beautiful sunset, by the way. Okay, yeah. So with that unboxing, because I went way off topic. I didn't even really talk about the unboxing, but really, there's really not much to it, right? We already know what the Pixel 7 looks like. Google leaked that back at Google I/O, so we know that they changed up the camera bar. So now it's not all glass camera bar. Now it's actually like a metal housing that has the camera sensors inside of it, which I think is a little bit better, because one of the things I'm always worried about my Pixel 6 is dropping it. I've seen TikTok where somebody dropped theirs and it landed in the grass and they picked it up and it had a hole in the camera bar glass, and they were like, why is there a hole? And they rubbed their foot in the grass and found out there was a rock about that big in the grass, and it landed on it and busted a hole in the camera bar, and it was game over for it. So I always worried about that. So them going metal construction on the Pixel 7's camera bar and just having a cutout, where the camera sensors specifically are placed in. And that's totally fine. I mean, yeah, those glasses can bust also too as well, but you don't have to worry about like a large percentage of it being vulnerable, just a small percentage of it, which is fine. It's totally fine that happens, Of course, I'm seeing everyone going on the colors and everything like that. I'm like the guy that's on the outside in looking at all these people. Like I see Team Pixel people talking about like they want the hazel color, they want this color. I'm the outside guy looking in. I'm like, I'll take whatever color. I don't care what the here to ask me. Oh, looks like that the internet went down for a sec. Give me a second for it to kind of just like reload. That's not good. Well, we have a lot of people on my Wi-Fi. There we go. Okay, so that's what I was saying. I'm the outside guy looking in, so I don't care what colorway they have, but yeah. Tito, you have until 7:30 p.m. tonight when first of all, Michael, I don't have until 8. I'll do my live stream as long as I want to. I don't demand that everybody be here. If you guys want to catch RFK's live stream, you guys are more than welcome to jump over there and watch his live stream, and you can you guys can come back later and finish watching the rest of mine. But no one tells me what to do. Okay, that's the first thing I'll put my foot down on. I'll do this as long as I want to. It's no disrespect to RFK. It's no disrespect to anybody else, but I work a different clock. I have kids, and so I have to allocate time for my kids and time for me to do this. And if it cuts into somebody's time, I don't demand everybody stay here. But there's one thing that you should learn about me right now. If nobody's here watching, I will still live stream like there are people here watching and talk, because anybody can watch a replay. And so that's how I am. So it's not going to offend me if anyone jumps off and goes to Ricky's live stream. Like, go to Ricky's live stream. It's totally cool. Yeah, so I just had to point that out, man. I'm not mad at you, but I'm just saying. He posted that he survived. He stated that there were what was it? I was watching Carlos's live stream with Pete, and I think Ricky said on there in the comments that where was it? Fort Myers, I think, and Port Charlotte were devastated, but he made out all right. He's good, he's safe. So, shout out to RFK, and glad that he's that he's not hurt. No. I'm just I do that because I want people to understand, it's actually good that you did say that, so I can clarify that up, because I don't think I ever said that on a live stream before, so other people will understand something. And that's just how I am. I mean, no disrespect to any other content creator, but I'm not going to cut mine short on the back that they have theirs going here soon. It's just, to me, I'm like, you guys do what you guys want to do. I am for you guys. So whatever works for you. You will never, ever offend me if you're like, hey, Ricky's live, I'm going to jump out and watch his live stream, bro. Peace. Like, I'm not going to get mad and be like, what the? Why are you guys here in the first place? Like, no, that's not how it goes. It's like, you guys do what you guys really want to do. It's your life. You know what I mean? And I'm here just doing what I love to do. So don't worry about it, man. I'm not taking it as you being disrespectful to me, but I just have to let people know. So, all right, let's switch it up here, because I got one more thing that, I'm just kind of count down to the Made by Google. We've been talking about that here so far. But other things that I expect to see at the Made by Google event, besides the Pixel 7 and 7 Pro, and besides the Pixel Watch. And I did a video talking about my guesstimations. I honestly feel like that the Pixel 7 is going to repeat what the Pixel 6 did, $599 starting price tag for base model, and then like $100 difference for a higher storage capacity. Say with the 7 Pro, I'm putting the 7 Pro at $899. Hopefully Google doesn't screw that up and put it at $999 or $1,000. I don't see the 7 Pro being $1,000 phone, and Google will shoot themselves in the foot if they do that. And then on top of that, I will literally say that the Pixel Watch. Cellular model, $350. So I'm thinking $299 for the non-cellular version, or at least $249.99, something like that for the non-cellular. So like $100 difference. So like $250 for the basic, $350 for the LTE model. Which, you know, Google Fi has already said that if you get the Pixel 7 and you get the Pixel Watch, they are giving you reasons why you should sign up for Google Fi, because you can get a secondary line on your Pixel Watch. And to me, honestly, I mean, I don't know. Well, I mean, I wouldn't do it the other way, because you would have to get like the unlimited plus plan at $65 a month to be able to like have like a phone line connected to your Pixel 7 or 7 Pro, and then to have like a data only connected to your watch, which would draw from the same 50 gigs of high-speed data that Fi offers. It just wouldn't make sense. So you would actually have to get like a secondary line. So you would be looking at I would say about 120, or like maybe like 110, $100. I don't know what Google Fi's 2 lines on the unlimited plus line thingy is anymore. Google Fi just like, I don't know. They're odd in so many ways. I recommend them for international travel and international calling if you absolutely have to. But I wouldn't recommend them for like, you know, if you're always here in the US and you go nowhere, like, no. Even if you went with like the Simply Unlimited, I know it's 35 gigs of high-speed data before throttled. I just think they got to get rid of the throttle. But then again, of course, you know, if they did that, that wouldn't be beneficial for Metro by T-Mobile, because Metro by T-Mobile is prepaid and they don't throttle. They deprioritize in times of congestion, but they don't throttle. So it is what it is. But yeah, my guesstimations on the pricing on that, I believe there's supposed to be a like a Nest Pro. So it's like basically like Google Home, but like, you know, Google Home got renamed. So that's supposed to be like talked about and unveiled at the Made by Google event. And the Made by, you know, we have that, and I'm assuming there's going to be like some other services and stuff like that you're going to get. I'm pretty sure they're going to talk about the what's that program called? The one through Google. I know that they have, you know, Google Fi, they have like the leasing program that's like 2 years, but that's only for the A series devices. They never put any other flagships on that. So you're never going to get like a flagship that you're going to be able to pay off over 2 years with being with Google Fi, and you know, actually pay like $150 to $200 less than full value price. That's reserved for the A series. But I think I would like the I forgot what Google calls it. It was like the Pixel. This is how bad that service kind of like fell out of whack, and it fell out of whack because a lot of people were upset. They're upset because the program actually failed them. Let's see what they call it. Well, there's an all-in-one subscription. Yeah, I know that. Do they not have a name for it anymore? Because I have the page pulled up. I'm looking at it. Oh my gosh. No, is it just call it the Pixel Pass? No, it's right up there. Look how small that is. Pixel Pass, so small. The Pixel Pass, you can actually use that to finance you the Pixel 7 or 7 Pro and get a whole list of things like Google Play Pass, Preferred Care, YouTube Music Premium, YouTube Premium, Google One. You get all that with their Pixel Pass. You pay $37 a month and you save $160 on the Pixel 6a. And that's wait, why is that a new one? Because then the Pixel 6 is the other one. Okay, that's right. $45 a month for the Pixel 6. And yeah, they give you like the specs comparison between them, and then they're like, save even more with Pixel Pass on Google Fi. Get $5 off your Fi. See that? I mean, they should like put like $10 off your Fi plan. That would be more enticing for people, right? Like getting the unlimited plus plan on Google Fi at, you know, $55 a month instead of $65 just because you have the Pixel Pass. Go figure. But I mean, yeah, you know, you get some of those things, and But see, the problem with Pixel Pass is that there were a lot of people who thought they had Pixel Pass. They were paying their monthly premium, and then when shit hit the fan, they were told that their Pixel Pass services was never active, and there was just a whole clusterfuck of shit. So it was just really bad. The phone carriers are getting out of control. The phone device by itself should not be as high a price that you would pay. You pay for 1 month of rent. Yeah, and the sad thing is that we allowed that to happen. And I mean, when phones started getting more and more expensive, like we started seeing prices where like iPhones were getting close to $1,000 and Galaxy S series were getting close to $1,000. We were all like on here totally bitching about the price, but then we would go out and buy it. And you know, the only way that these companies actually learn is when you vote with your dollars, which means that if everyone didn't like the price of like iPhones being $1,000, don't buy them. If Apple put out a brand new iPhone and we're like, this phone's $1,200 and nobody bought it, Apple would get the damn point that, okay, this price was too much. Let's bring it back down. You know, this is where Google Pixel kind of capitalized. They seen Samsung and they seen Apple go up, you know, to $1,000 price tag, and Google had to have recognized the debacle they were in when they priced the Pixel 4 and 4 XL at a very high price, and people were like, for what you're offering, I wouldn't even pay that much for that phone. So Google went the opposite way with the Pixel 6 and shocked everybody that the price was $600 for the Pixel 6, and that the 6 Pro was going to be $900. So it was $899 for the 6 Pro. Right? Smartwatch service only cost $10 on Verizon. You know what? Google should actually like repartner themselves with Verizon. I know that they have like a good partnership with T-Mobile, but then again, T-Mobile was the cheapest for them to go with for Google Fi compared to what Verizon would have allowed Google to use on their network and lease per month or per year annually. Wouldn't have been good. So, yeah, there are other alternative options to where you can go with the Pixel Watch. For me, the Pixel Watch I'm going to get obviously is not going to be the LTE model. I don't need it to have standalone cellular connection. I would much prefer it to satellite to my phone and just use it on that. You know what I mean? Google Fi is supposed to have access to US Cellular as well. Yeah, as a matter of fact, so originally before Google Fi was known by that name, was known as Project Fi, originally it was Sprint and T-Mobile that you piggybacked off of. And then later on, they incorporated a deal with US Cellular. But US Cellular is only mostly like in the Midwest and in NorCal and some other spotted areas. They're not nationwide. And so I'll tell you, like, I mean, because I use Google Fi, and when I went out to go visit my family in Oklahoma, it worked really good, and it was on US Cellular's network out there. I actually purchased an app called Fi Switch, which is it's like $2 for the app, but it literally told you which one you were connected to, and then of course it made it a lot easier. Instead of having to do the dialer codes to force your phone onto a particular network, it had buttons, and you would just push that button. Like if I push US Cellular, then it would automatically dial the dial codes for US Cellular forced connection, and then it would tell me you're on US Cellular. So yeah, as a matter of fact, if people don't know, Google Fi actually uses all the carriers. It actually does use Verizon and AT&T. If you're in an area where T-Mobile and US Cellular is non-existent, it does have roaming agreements on Verizon and AT&T, so you can actually use that. But I mean, it's not that you can use it unlimitedly. Like, you're not going to be able to use 500 gigabytes of data with it roaming on Verizon's network. Eventually, Verizon's going to cut you off. But yeah, technically Fi connects to all of them. But I really wish that Fi would just really strike a deal and actually use every carrier. I mean, Boost Infinite is kind of going that route. I mean, Boost Infinite being able to use Dish's own network being built out using, I think, AT&T's network and using T-Mobile's network. So, and Google Fi, pay attention. I would say that pretty much. But yeah, in total, and yes, I am. I'm actually going to be up 7 o'clock in the morning, because the made by Google event starts at 10 a.m. Eastern time, because it is being shot in New York. I think at their new Google store. So they have the one in Chelsea and they have the one in another location out there in New York. And so yeah, it's 10 a.m. their time, so it'll be about like I think like 7 or 6 a.m. my time. So I will be up early to do that. Do that live stream, react to it live. So that is going to happen. Like my annual Google event party, is going to go off on October 6th. So I'll probably start live streaming, I want to say 6 a.m. my time, just to be sure. And yeah, once the event starts, of course, I'm going to be reacting to it live. So definitely, hopefully some of you guys come in and check it out. But if not, there's a replay. So you guys don't have to get up early to see it. Unless you're on the East Coast, you're probably already up. But those here out in the West Coast area, my neck of the woods, you guys don't have to get up early to see it. The replay will be there. You guys can wake up and watch the replay if you guys want to. So yeah, I'll do the best that I can to basically simulcast it. So I'm probably going to simulcast it to Facebook and Twitter as well. But yeah. So right now, what I'm going to go ahead and do is leave it 5 questions. So you guys here have 5 questions that you guys can ask before I end out this live stream. We've already passed the 1 hour mark. So any question doesn't have to be regarding to any of these subjects that I was talking about, but 5 questions you guys have that I'll try to answer, or if I do have the answer to it, I'll give it to you. But ask away. And yeah, and while I'm waiting to see if anyone actually has a question they want to ask me, at the same time too, I'll answer a pretty stupid question. That is that I know people get sick and tired of name changes. Don't worry about it. Just leaving it my name and my name only. But like the whole Aloha Android and why am I not pushing hard on it and all this other stuff. It's just a name. I've never really looked at it as such an important factor to my channel, because it's just a name. I know it's a name that people remember from like when I first started the channel back in 2011, and they were like, "Yo, that's the name you went by." But I'm just not one that really kind of holds on to it, and like I'm a little bit beyond just Android. First question here: do you play Amazon Luna? So I have. Lately, I haven't been able to. Like, I haven't been able to pay to do any subscriptions or anything like that with Amazon, just because I've been like superly busy. But when I'm back on it, I'll let you know. If you're on Luna, I'll let you know. I know my homie Squids. He's on Luna also. He live streams a lot here on YouTube. So I'll put the link to his channel into the description later if you guys want to check him out. He does a lot of excuse me. He does a lot of live stream gaming on his channel, and then some open topics every now and then that he just goes on there and live streams and talks to whoever chills with him. So definitely worth checking it out. So I'll link his channel for you guys. But yeah, so I'm still the same person. I'm still me. It doesn't matter if my YouTube channel has my nickname and my last name, or if it has Aloha Android or 82 Tech or any of the names that I've ever used before. It doesn't matter. I'm still the same person, and I'm still gonna do this, So let's not worry about those weird types of things, I'm not worried about it. I play Amazon Luna thanks to my Prime membership, as well as claiming free games. Yeah. I have Prime membership through my Metro Family plan, so. Yeah, so, but I mean, if someone really just has to have the name Aloha Android, go to my TikTok. My TikTok account still uses that name. I'm not going to change it. Yeah. Choose the name that you like. It's your yeah, I know, right, Michael? Yeah. I just never thought it was going to be a big issue. To some. There's not a lot of people who really care, so it's not really that big of a deal. But like a couple people just kind of like threw some stuff out, and I just kind of wanted to respond to that. So they can get over it, and or if they don't like it anymore, they don't like my channel, they're free to leave. I'm still surprised that my channel still continues to grow, even though I don't really do much on it. I've been uploading a lot of shorts, and people have been noticing that. And short form content is the direction that YouTube is going to back, and so I'm participating in it. Um, and like some of my shorts are doing okay for my channel. Okay, so like my videos always done like maybe like 100 views. It's not really a lot. My shorts are like going over 500. Some went to 900. Some went over 1,000. So, the view count is good on my shorts and everything like that. So I'm like, I can see why YouTube is doing that. They want to challenge TikTok and Instagram. Hey, by all means, I'll be a part of it. I post on all three platforms the same video. The same shorts that I put on YouTube end up going on TikTok and Instagram. So just whatever platform you're mostly on is where you're going to find my videos. And like I said, I brought back the We Are Techies name, and that's actually a TikTok channel. And I'm actually looking for 3 other people to actually join me on that TikTok account. Like, they'll get the password and everything to get into it, because they'll be uploading their TikTok video there, and also being able to advertise their own personal TikTok account. So like if they have their own tech channel on TikTok, then they got to put their tag in there so people can find them. It's a collaborative account, and I'm looking for 3 really passionate, dedicated people into mobile tech that I want to bring on there. So I'm being very careful on who I pick, because the last time that I did that with the We Are Techies and even the Tech Savvy Clan, I tried it twice here on YouTube. Both have failed because people eventually stopped posting videos, and I was the last man standing. Like I said, this specific channel you're watching this live stream on originally started as a collaborative channel. If you don't believe me, go to the very first month that this channel was conceived, and you will see there were different people uploading videos to this channel besides me. But I was the last one standing because they all went off to do their own things. Some of them quit YouTube. Some of them just focused on their personal channel more than anything and just went on with that. Some of them focused on their channel, went a year or 2 on their own, and then totally disappeared, and I don't know where they are. Yeah, I mean, like, the tech space is like overloaded. That's something I already knew. So like, seeing Carlos doing coverage on Lake Mead, Ricky doing, his drone footage and CB radios, and also doing, his educational videos about 5G and network connectivity and telecom industry. Like, you gotta eat outside your box. With me, like I stated the other day, there are going to be vlog videos that I'm doing that's going to be uploaded onto this channel. They're not necessarily like looking to grab a new genre into this channel for the algorithm. It's more of like keeping a record of like my thoughts and what I was thinking on that particular day for my kids to look back at when I'm passed on. I hit 40 in August. A lot of the things that I was plagued by have actually gotten worse over this year. So I'm not 100% anymore, and I do have to start thinking about it. At some point, I am probably not going to be around anymore. And, it's really sad to say that. I get afraid. I get afraid for my lady, for her have to go through life without me being around physically anymore. And most importantly, my kids who are so attached to me. And what they'll go through without me being around, and who might be around them when I'm passed on. I'm not able to to be here to protect them. So being honest with a lot of people, like, really take your health very seriously. Diabetes is like the worst enemy that anyone could ever get, and it'll snatch your soul. So yeah, I'm like doing more things and focusing on more things to at least try to prolong the inevitable. But one of the things I did think about the other day, and just like, my own thoughts, was, like the things I wanted my kids to know. Because sometimes, like, we're human, and sometimes we can't really say what we're feeling face to face with those that we love so much. But we want them to know, and in my in my mind, it's like if I recorded a video just like this and just said what I was thinking or feeling, my kids would know what I was thinking or feeling on that day. Maybe, and maybe well, I mean, it'll have the date timestamp in the description, so they'll know when I uploaded that video, so they'll know what I was thinking on that day, and maybe it'll trigger them to remember that day, and then they'll probably understand why it was a certain way, or just things like that. Just keeping a record for them, and then somewhere for them to go where they can see me. Like kind of like how people, when like someone passes away and they have like voicemails that they saved, they keep those voicemails so they can hear that person's voice. They go into their voicemail box and they re-listen to the message. Kind of the same thing. I know it's really odd. So like I have like a backup of like those vlog videos on a drive, just in case YouTube goes down. They can hopefully find a way to transfer all the digital content from that drive to like newer technology and be able to watch the videos and see me and listen to me. And yeah, I'm also gonna start live streaming with my daughter. Both my daughters actually. Both of them have their YouTube channels, and both of them are doing very well on their YouTube channels. My oldest one just started hers, so she's like kind of like learning how to do things, and I'm letting them figure it out on their own. And my youngest daughter, she's like at 678 subscribers. She's almost to 1,000 subscribers, and she just makes like some of the most weirdest videos ever. But yeah, that's about as much of their channels I'll talk about. Yeah, they don't want me talking about their channels on here, so it's totally cool. And I admire that about them. They want to make it on their own. And I keep telling them, like, even if I was to like show their channel, it's not like it's going to do anything. Like, my channel has lost a lot of its steam from the algorithm. The algorithm doesn't really back my channel anymore at all. And I don't like, so it's not like 11,000 people going to see it, but they don't want to take that chance. So I respect their wishes. So they're doing it on their own, and I'm very proud of them for doing that. And they know what I'm doing too with my vlogs. They know that I'm making these vlog videos specifically just for them to know about what I was thinking and what I was doing in that day. And hopefully I live a full life. Hopefully I live until I'm like 75 or 80 years old, but I can't say that. With all the things that's happening to me, I'm lucky to make it at 60, maybe. Like, no one knows what the future will hold, so I just want to have something in place for my kids so that way they know. And like yesterday, at parent-teacher conference, I was like so proud of them because they're all doing good, and their teachers are mostly impressed with their math, their abilities, their math. They're good, and they're very good in math. And yeah, so my lady was like, we were driving, we took them out, to get something to eat together as a family and celebrate, all of them getting good grades, in the opening of the school year. And my lady asked me, she's like, were you really good in math in school? And I'm like, yeah, I was really good at math. I always hid it from people, but I was always good at it. Because, at my time, I always wanted to be the badass. I always wanted to be Mr. Popular. I always wanted the pretty ladies in school to, look at me and check me out. And, so everything that I thought, like, being smart at, because I was really good in science. I loved science. That was my favorite subject. And math was my favorite subject. I would hide that. I'd play stupid. I'd play so dumb. And looking back at it now, I'm like, damn, I could have showed everybody how smart I was, and I didn't do that. Being a diabetic is not a death sentence unless your body reaches that point that doctors, modern medicine has done everything they can. Yeah, not putting too much of my stuff out there. I'm not putting a lot out there, but yeah, I know what you mean, Michael. And hopefully something else comes along, maybe like a revolutionary breakthrough will come along, and hopefully I'm praying for it. Otherwise, it's just not going to be a good thing. But, no matter what happens, I mean, I look at it like this. Like, I got to do some pretty awesome things. Outside of YouTube, I got to do a lot of pretty awesome things and make some very lasting memories and witness a lot of things. Witness a volcanic eruption. Like, who does that? How many people could get on and say, like, I witnessed a volcano explode? I seen one explode, like, up front, like, I mean, yeah, I was like several hundred miles away, but geez, man, that volcanic eruption in the Philippines that cooled the earth significantly. I was there for that one in the Philippines. You know, I've been through countless earthquakes. I've been through countless tsunami warnings. I've been through countless typhoons/hurricanes. I've been through a couple of tornadoes. I live in a place where there's a drought all the time, and I've been through places where we get affected by monsoons. So I've experienced a lot of weather, of global global things. I've been through a lot of places. I've been through Japan, Korea, Philippines. I've been through several states here, seen some things. I survived being shot at a few times. I survived being robbed at gunpoint. I've done some stupid things. When I was younger, me and my friends, we robbed hotel rooms, and we used to climb down the balconies of these hotel buildings in Waikiki and check to see if the balcony slider door was locked or unlocked. And the ones that were unlocked, we would go in. But yeah, thinking about it now, being on the 27th floor, climbing down the side of a balcony, if I had slipped, that would definitely suck. So yeah, I said stupid. I always say I have an amazing time on YouTube doing this, live streaming, posting videos, and seeing people react to them and reading people's comments, whether good or bad, has been a great experience, very great experience. And I will always be grateful for those that actually came and hung out with me. People will always say, hey man, you gotta have positive attitude about things. And what I'm saying is not a negative thing. It's just I'm very humble about it. I'm not saying, I know I'm not the most charismatic person, and I know I'm not the easiest person to listen to. People have their perspectives and everything. So the ones that actually do listen, the ones that interact, and the ones that talk, I am always going to be very, very, very appreciative of it. And yeah. So with that, I'll leave it at that. There's no other questions. So I'll just leave it at that. Thank you all for coming in and hanging out. Appreciate you guys for being here. I'm going to jam out, enjoy the rest of my evening, and you guys should too. Believe that Ricky is going live in 24 minutes, so head on to RFK Tech if you guys want to go and check out his live stream and kind of get some insight as to what's going on with Hurricane Ian. You guys definitely want to go check that out. So yeah, head over on his direction. I'm pretty sure that he probably has people waiting in there. So y'all go in there, chit chat. Y'all be good. I don't know when I'm going to do another one, but for sure, October 6th, I will be doing another one about 6 a.m. my time. So that would be 9 a.m. East Coast time, I believe. We shall see. No. 10 a.m. over there would be 5 a.m. over here, or 6 a.m. over here. Yeah, so 6 a.m. my time. I gotta think because daylight savings are gonna go an hour back. So instead of them being 5 hours ahead of me, it's gonna be 4. Yeah. All right, Michael, take it easy. You have a good night, sir.